Year. Yes. It is the Castworthy podcast, and we are back. I am Big Steve, aka Last of a Dying Breed, on the Twitter machine, joined today by EJ the Savage. It is September 26th. It's a beautiful morning, beautiful Sunday morning. At least here it is, man. What's going on up there? Is it what's the weather like?
It's pretty nice, man. It's nice and cool fall, brisk up north weather. You know what I mean? Sun is out, buns out. Well, no buns out, but
That fall crisp
leggings, leggings
leggings.
season.
Speaking of leggings, how come men can't have shit? It's legging season, right? I'm saying men should have leggings.
Oh, all right.
What? Let me clarify. It's legging season. It's been legging season since leggings became a new, like back the thing, when the crisp hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yet I opened my my socials, my Facebooks, my Instas, and all we see is these women trying to kidnap our season with gray sweatpants season.
Selfish.
Why can't we have shit?
Selfish. It's selfish.
We can't have shit.
Selfish.
We want to be, that's all we want. It's been since the dawn of time. All we wanted to do was be happy. And these bitches take everything from us. It started with a rib.
Wow. You are hard.
All right. I guess it's just me.
Toxic.
Just me, huh? All right.
Toxic.
I see where we are now. We're living safe. All right. So we'll skip. Yeah, let me cross that one off the topic list. Doesn't look like that's going the right way. All right. What's going on? What's up there, man? Anything going on?
Well, our boy Senor E is up here.
Is he?
Yep. I mean, he only said he was going to be up here for a year ago. You was supposed to go with him, but
slutting, smutting.
Nah,
none of that. Allegedly,
none of that. Nah, man, we kicked off day one with going to a new brewery in town, and had some great food, and then we just ventured on to the Eagles bar and had some more food and more drinks, and yeah, man, cigars and some more drinks.
Did you guys watch college football yesterday?
Sure did.
Okay.
Sure did.
Figured that might be the what the Saturday festivities brought. What was the week like for you, man? I fucking let me tell you about my week. Finally got the call, man. Thursday, home about 11 o'clock. Actually, a little later than that, about 12 o'clock. Getting the daily blood pumping, doing a little workout, and phone rings. Actually, hey, yeah, classroom just got quarantined. Child in Ash's class tested positive. Oh, mother of fuck. Here we go. Goddamn Florida. So, one picked him up. And, just classroom teach. Well, the parents were there. A bunch of parents there. Kind of frantic and nervous and shit in the lobby of the school. People like, so was it student? Was it their brother, sister, sibling? Like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh yeah, there's only but so much we can give you. And so, that how that goes over with people. So, last time the person was there was Monday, and they were only there for half day, etc. Kids got to go get tested. Ashton's already been congested and shit anyway, so I'm like, he already was congested. Like, fuck, man. Goddamn anti-vax, dirty children, man. But we took him yesterday, and we all got tested, came back negative. So dodged a, dodged a bullet this time. Dodged a bullet this time. I mean, he's been going since like July, August, September. So we're talking about 60 days before the first true scare. So you know,
Yeah, I mean, at this point, honestly, what people as Americans, we're gonna have to realize that this virus isn't going anywhere, and
mm,
it's not like this is 1992. You know, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be around. It's gonna hopefully, with everyone getting vaccinated and building up immune systems, etc. Hopefully, uh, it'll be like the flu, I guess, to some degree. Just a lot more fatal, I guess, if you're susceptible to that. But yeah, man, it's kind of hard now. I mean, it's everywhere. It's a silent thing that it's nothing we can see, nothing that we can really, know or avoid. It's just, and unfortunately, well, fortunately, but unfortunately, in certain ways, life is going on. Like,
mhm.
life is going on and people are moving forward. And, I think more people have a lot more evidence to see the importance of the vaccination. So I think you see a lot of people just around just seeing the effects of, not being vaccinated. So I think we're going to start to trend socially that way, even if people are outwardly saying they're not being vaccinated. I think people are going to start to trend that way eventually. So yeah, it's kind of hard to avoid. Had a similar situation with the kids at their school at one point. Everyone was negative, but yeah, man, it's just like what can you really do at this point? You know?
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be the reality of life moving forward. Like you said, the biggest piece is just people being responsible, um, and making the decision to go get vaccinated. Like you know, the all the fucking bullshit that you see on Instagram and socials and shit about these conspiracies about the government hating us. I mean, listen, whether the government likes us, hates us, or not, you got a better chance of living by getting the fucking vaccine and keeping other people alive and living a better life, like just a more fun and shit like that. So I mean, you know, uh, I went out last night, probably for one of the first times. Went to dinner here in Florida,
Hmm.
and went to a little restaurant, and so life is starting to get back to normal, like you said. I think we all kind of need that, because the hate and despise for one another is clearly present, man, everywhere you look, and everything is being turned into political fucking agendas. Like everything turns into politics. So
Politics run the world, man. But politics is so deeply rooted into this nation. It just shocks me. And I'm switching gears, but on the politics part, right? The situation in Haiti. I mean, well, not in Haiti, but with the Haitian migrants
mhm.
is just like it's just crazy to me that we see how they're getting treated at the border. We see how they're getting denied. And we're talking about laws and things that are in place that were in place. Oh, because of Trump and okay, right? But the Afghan migrants, the migrants from Afghanistan get flown over, get you know asylum here, etc. We understand that Haiti has had a problem and has had many problems for years, but it's not as if this nation isn't but 200 to 300 miles away from the shores of America. I may be wrong, but I believe that's kind of accurate, right? And then we see how they're getting treated at the border. And then our president, who you, I, many others like us voted for, said to us at some point, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. He literally said that shit. And continually, as black people of this nation and largely the world, what the hell do we ever get? I mean, literally, and I know it's not that simple. I know it's not that black and white, but talking about can we get a bone and can we get something for us? What have we got? You know, Asian people in this nation were under attack. You know, we stand with them. We stood against those that committed these heinous acts. But black people, we asking for the George Floyd bill to get done. All this bullshit about how shit can't get done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When I said asylum, Tavares, I don't mean literally legal asylum. I mean just safe, being safe. Again, we all these other people, and I mean not saying they're not dark skinned black Afghans. Again, what are the black people getting? The Haitians at the border getting abused by border agents, can't get in this nation, and we turn to say, oh, it's not Biden's fault, it's not this administration's fault. And when they ask questions, they give us a bunch of bullshit. We're gonna look into it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Bullshit. I
I
just,
think
I'm kind of tired of the politics. Tired of the politics.
I agree. If you didn't vote for Biden, you ain't black. I do believe that. Given the choices, not saying that he was the best option for black people, but he was the best option that we had available, right? So he wasn't the best option overall, but he was the best option, available. It's kind of like if I give you a plate of shit to eat, and a plate of shit sprinkled with some sugar on it, you might eat the one with sugar on it because it's gonna have a little bit of flavor to it. At least maybe you could pick up some sugar sprinkles off the side of the plate.
Agreed. We all said that countless times, and we still made the vote.
And I think a big piece here is the similarities to the outrage we had at the border with the kids in cages and stuff when it was Trump, to now seeing this, and people are like, yo, my nigga, like this is one of the things that we were extremely angry about. Like, we gave this dude hell, and this happened. Now, I see things from multiple views, right? I understand the viewpoint of where a lot of people say, and I agree, you can't control what's the uncontrollable. You can't control and not see it coming, right? So if they didn't know it was happening, they didn't know it was coming, then the images are going to surface. It's what happens afterwards, right? It's the action that takes place afterwards. And the action, I thought, was just too slow. I thought that it was too slow on the draw. I thought that by the time we got a response from Biden, it was after everybody's like, yo, where's Joe? Like, how come Joe's not making this stop? How come Joe's not, making it heard that this is unacceptable, right? And then surely we finally get it's unacceptable, right? And then we get the statement that the individuals were put on admin leave, which is the same as the cops that kill motherfuckers and get put on admin leave. It's just a matter of time. They're going to be back out there. They suspended the horse program. Great. Awesome. So instead of chasing them down in horses, now they'll chase them down in cars, and we'll see them get hit with cars maybe. Right? Or they'll just run them down and beat them and do whatever, right? So I don't think it's so much the light actions that they're taking. They need to take some serious action, put a plan in place, and vocalize that plan to the public so that individuals know what's going to happen moving forward to prevent this kind of treatment to humans in general, right? I mean, black humans right now, but Mexican humans before, and South America, people from South America from different countries before, right? So it's just in general, how do we stop this treatment? We don't see it for ain't shit going on at the Canadian border.
Yeah, different element there, but yeah, and I think to your larger point, the outrage. You know what I mean? It's we all know that these things there's a process and stuff, investigations, etc. But like you said, the timing, the slowness, the disingenuine response. Kamala Harris, just listening to her talk, sound phony as shit. You've been passionate. We've seen you extremely passionate while debating, trying to get our votes, trying to get our passion. And this is going on. This is going on where your parents are immigrants themselves. You ran on that ticket, and you see these people of Haitian descent from Haiti getting this treatment, and your response is lackluster. It lacked passion, it lacked emotion. It was phony to me. And then not only that, as the United States government, you mean to tell me that at no point in time you didn't already know this was going on? No one thought to say, "Hey, Joe, down at the border, white guys on horses kind of slap people around with whips and stuff. You kind of know that goes on, right?" Oh, they just were misinformed until these pictures surfaced. We have all this intelligence, all these resources, all this intel, and you didn't know this was already going on. Mind you, to your point, that the border was already a hot topic that you ran on because you was pissed at the other guy about. And see
It's
the problem.
emotion, man.
And see the problem is for me, right? And like you said, you probably aren't black if you didn't vote for Joe Biden. But the problem is, as black Democratic voters, all we continue to do is just vote and never hold these people accountable. Because the first thing we start to do when we want to be critical of our own party, no, we can't be critical of our own party. Because if we're critical of our own party, then the other side's going to use ammunition against them. So we're just never going to be holding our politicians to any standard. Like we voted for Joe. This podcast has been completely pro Joe Biden, completely pro Democrats. We've gotten blasted for only being that way. But you mean to tell me we can never hold these people accountable? And this is why Democrats, the black community, they know that, hey, go shake some hands, kiss some babies, make them feel like they care, show up on the Breakfast Club, and they'll get your vote. I mean, you'll get their vote rather. And then what happens after that? What's happening for us?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you said, I think you said it in the chat. And this is, and we, just to make it clear, this is not, one versus the other. It's everybody deserves equal. Asians started getting bullied immediately. We get, legislature for Asians rather to not be bullied, right?
Which is
Black
good.
people, which is great. And like I said, it's not one against the other. We love it. We're all for it. We've talked about it on previous episodes. We champion that. When do we get our piece? Like, when is our piece of the pie coming? As black people, not only that, as black people in general, the piece of the pie, but knowing that this is the vote that people were fighting for this election. Fighting for. And I think to your point, like you said, he said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And that was a big statement. That was a strong statement for him to say, right? Timely because of what was going on and the other piece of shit that we had to choose from. But yes, when do we get our pie? When do we get our share of, you know what? These motherfuckers have had it hard.
That's just putting it lightly.
Like, you go back to our ancestors, you go back to, everything we've ever covered on this podcast, Black Wall Street. Everything you go back to, anytime we've had a little shine of light, somebody puts a fucking blanket over it. You know what I mean? And then they come and they piss on us and tell us it's raining. Joe Biden included. To your point, it's accountability time, dog. It's accountability time. Listen, it's okay to have the well-being of everyone at hand when you're the leader of the free world, leader of the United States. You got to have everyone's best interest at hand, but there are some targeted situations and some targeted measures that you need to take to ensure that specific individuals get their just due. And that's taken place in other areas. It just hasn't taken place for us.
Precisely.
So, we'll keep an eye on it. I think the last thing that I saw was a headline that Joe Biden, one of the lines was, the individuals that who confronted the Haitian migrants will pay, and they're kind of standing on that, the Democratic news stations and stuff. That's the headline they're standing on, right? That he says they will pay, right? He's used that before. He used it with the Taliban and stuff like that. So we've seen this story before. But when we talk about, people will pay, that's fine. You're going to hold them accountable. Needs to be a high level of accountability. But how do we stop it moving forward? That's the question.
Yeah, and
Similar to what we
again,
talk about with police.
you can't again, one, you can't tell me you didn't know this was going on prior to the photos. Two, these are the acts of individuals that are government employees. I get it. And there's a process. I get it. But again, where I just don't feel that fire. And then the question of, should we distinguish between people in general and Black Americans? Yeah, because Black Americans were the only ones that suffered through slavery for hundreds of years, and unlike Jewish people in Germany, didn't receive any reparations. If Germany could do it for the Jewish people of that nation, why can't America do it? When the research shows that we're centuries behind because of the way we were treated. There is no generalization to American blacks and other people. We were just treated differently. And injustice is an injustice. And we're talking about things that are still going on today. The Asian Act didn't apply specifically to blacks. It said Asians. It had Asians in it. So, like you said, Steve, we have to worry about we have to worry about the common good of everyone, but we would be asinine and foolish to believe that there are specific groups that don't need some extra stuff. And when Trump was in the administration, this is what it was. But now when it's Biden, we're making all these bullshit political reasons why shit can't happen. It's accountability, dog. We gotta hold out. We gotta be able to hold our own party accountable too. Or we just gonna keep getting the same shit? It's just what it is.
Yep, I agree. I mean, we'll keep an eye on it, man. This administration has 3 more years. There's a lot for them to do. There's a lot for them to unpack. This first year has not been pretty. It has not been pretty. A lot of these promises and stuff. I mean, sure, it's great, the Child Tax Act and all of that. That's great. You're giving people a couple $100 a month. Phenomenal. But there's still a lot more that needs to be addressed. So we'll watch it, man. But and at the same time, while we're supportive, it's ignorant for you to be supportive and not be able to see the flaws and hold accountable. And I think that's your point, and that's my point. Today. And last piece on that, when you talk about, did they know? Absolutely, 100%, they fucking knew, right? It's just like we said with Ray Rice. They knew Ray Rice punched his girl in the face, but when you saw the video, now you're like, whoa, all right, it's worse than, it's not just words on the paper now, right? They were like, oh yeah, they're treating Haitians bad.
They saw the video.
Oh yeah,
They saw the video before we did. They just didn't think we were gonna see that shit.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they're treating Haitians bad. Oh yeah. We should probably stop that. In due time, right? In due time. Yeah. Let's put that on the agenda. Somebody's like, all right, in due time, let's go ahead and put this shit in motion. Here, look at these pictures, America. And we already know how Americans are. We know how the internet works. The reality is what you see, regardless of whether that's true or not. It could have been addressed weeks before the images surface. When somebody sees those images, they're still going to be like, yo, how come we didn't get a briefing on this? How come we don't know what took place in ways of accountability? Like, it's America. That's the day we live in. And Joe's got to be faster on the draw, man. They have to be fast on the draw, and not just in acknowledging. They have to start taking action, and there needs to be clear action. So 3 more years, man. Let's see what we get. Hey, it seems like so R. Kelly was in court, and it seems like it triggered a bunch of people to come on out and tell us their what they got going on. We saw a young lady come out, and another young lady, former boss of Chris Cuomo, who is the brother of former governor of New York. Cuomo, who was also recently I guess he resigned, right, because he was put in the media pretty heavily, and castrated about his behavior to women.
Right.
And so his so his brother Chris, he had a boss. He was working for, I think it was ABC. Don't quote me there. The email says Disney.com. I think it's ABC that they own. It's ABC, NBC. And lady says that they were at a party. Her husband's there. Chris Cuomo comes in, gives her a crazy bear hug in her statement. Crazy bear hug. Hey, hey, great to see you. And then goes down and grasps her buttock. Literally, that's her word. Her buttock. Um, Mind you, this is his boss. She,
Hey, yo.
she was she was his boss at the time. This is her story. Email came out with him sending a response to her. Now, this is back in 2005, basically saying, "Hey, I was happy to see you. Um, you're absolutely right. The pat on the butt was not right. Probably shouldn't have done it. Even no matter how happy I was to see you. I'm sure your husband probably didn't like it, and it won't happen again.
Hey,
Sorry."
yo. What is going on with
What,
that?
what are we doing, dog? Like, it's 16 years later, man. We talking about 16 years
Excuse me.
where you were in a, this is different from his brother. You were in a position of power. You were his boss. If Like I said, it's hard for us to tell women how to feel and how to react and things like that. But this is this is a different situation to me than many of the others where we see women are not in the place of power. And
Let me interject in that part because at the end of the day, it's still inappropriate, illegal. Uh, it's bad touching, right? And
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a violation. So that's what it is, right? But I have some questions though. So this email that she sent reading, is it from him to her back then? Did he send it to her like in '05 to be like, yo, I apologize? Is that what
Yes.
happened? Or okay. He
Yeah.
sent her an email saying that. I'm just trying to figure out what was actually going on that why were they even communicating that via email, which is weird to me. And I before we get into the power dynamics and all of the other things about that, I would be curious to see how real this was, what the email is, because it's just I need to know more because it's just weird to me that that would be communicated via email and
Via
then
work email at that.
right, and then there weren't any repercussions for him then. Like I'm just curious to know more about it because it just doesn't kind of make sense to me that you would email that, and that would be the correspondence. Like, and she's his boss, and aside from the part of him, a part of the power dynamics, she is his boss, right? So I just don't understand how that, and I'm not excusing that. I'm just trying to figure out what was going on in the midst of all of this to where no legal action, no termination happened, nothing
Bingo.
came out of that. And I don't think it has anything to do with his behavior. I'm just wondering how and what was going on that things didn't move with that. And I'm just wondering, was there more to it? I've been a guy who's, you know, um, been in that world where I've, had a female boss and, been a boss of others, etc. And, I've even in the past dated a boss on the low once. You know what I mean? So I'm not ruling out that there wasn't some kind of relationship involved there, but the fact that they're communicating this via email is just like weird to me. So I'm just wondering. I would like to see what Chris has to say. I would like to know more about it.
I'm with you on that. The email says specifically It's from Chris Cuomo. It was sent June 1st, 2005. Subject: Now that I think of it, I am ashamed. That's all we see. So it picks up where it says, though my hearty greeting was a function of being glad to see you, Christian Slater got arrested for a kind of similar act. And as a husband, I can empathize with not liking to see my wife patted as such. So pass along my apology to your very good and noble husband, and I apologize to you as well for even putting you in such a position. Next time, I'll remember the lesson, no matter how happy I am to see you.
So he didn't really truly acknowledge from what you read. He didn't say he grabbed her butt, or it kind of sounds like he's saying like maybe I overdid it and I hugged you too, you know what I mean? Like I did too much. You know what I'm saying? It kind of sounds like that. Which still bad, you know, in a lot of ways, especially her husband being there. Kind of sounds like, yo, I didn't realize your husband was there. We was as friendly as we were normally, and I fucked up. I'm sorry.
Right, this is the norm. You got into a fight. You sent me an email saying, "Hey, you might be ruining my marriage," and now this is my response. Yes, does that sound about right to you?
Possibly so.
Yeah,
Possibly so. I mean, to because I mean to say you're saying this dude hugged you in public and just grabbed your buns in plain sight of everyone, and nothing happened. I don't know. I would like to know more. I would like
yeah.
to know more. So she wasn't his boss at the time. She was his former boss, and the Cuomo's are a powerful family. Okay.
Another young lady came, or old lady came out this week and made mention to damn it,
Oh, Elvira and Wilt Chamberlain.
yeah, woman that played
Wilt Chamberlain,
Elvira,
rather.
Wilt, the century mark man, Chamberlain. Was it a century? Was it 100? No, it was like 1,000, right? 1,000 that he said he smashed.
He scored 100 points in the game. We know that.
Oh
but
yeah,
he,
yeah, yeah.
but he might have smashed like over 1,000 joints.
Thousands, yeah. She said that back in 90, I'm sorry, he
1980,
passed
1980.
1980, he passed away in 99. That you know, he choked her and took advantage of her, and she couldn't come out and say anything because he was he's a powerful black athlete back in 1980, as we just talked about how this society has been for a very long time. Just I just want to, I guess the point here is to young women and any women in general. I know it's a difficult situation, but it's much easier for people to have faith in the accusations um, if it's more timely, right? If your response is more timely, and that's, I'm not saying that it has to be that way. Not telling people how to live their life, not telling people how to feel, but it's just something to keep in mind and understand that people are here to believe you. People are here to understand you and help you, and as such, utilize the resources that you have to you timely, so that there's less doubt, and that's my biggest piece.
So the thing is, right? We always keep in mind that people that are victims, how they report it, how they tell, how they experience it, how they feel about it, the trauma is their own, you know, and they deal with it how they can when they can, right? For me, this happened in 1980. It is now
Before I was
2020.
born, before you were born.
It's now 2021, right? What I believe as a society we have to be cautionary with is that we have to be cautioned in the sense that we have to think or ask ourselves, why now? While it may seem insensitive, while it may seem foul, you have to ask yourself, why now? And when you see her appearing on TV shows, promoting a book, and in the times that we're in where anyone could be accused and canceled without just due process or anything, you have to ask yourself why. And you wouldn't be wrong to be hard pressed to think that it's strictly for attention and monetary gain. I mean, this thing happened in 1980, and now you're writing a book about it and appearing on TV shows about it. Furthermore, long after the man is dead and unable to defend himself.
I go back to when we talked about Bill Cosby, and we spoke about the time that these things allegedly happen. And regardless of athlete or not, he was black. You have a one up no matter what. No matter what, you had a one up in 1980. These women in the 60s and 70s that came out against Cosby, regardless of how quote unquote powerful they were as athletes and artists and whatever you're looking at, they were black. Emmett Till, right? That's what I think about when I see these kinds of things, and they're like, oh, well, he was so powerful, so I couldn't say anything against it. Okay, I got you.
I mean, that is a very cautionary thing for our community. And black women have said this to me my entire life, my entire life, which I think has caused me to have some prejudice at times to my decisions. But when you hear about the false claims, and you see the stories of men and people that have served countless time, count or a number of years for things they didn't commit because someone cried wolf. These are things that have been happening to black men in our community for centuries. And we do know there are people that are guilty of, the crimes, but we also know that there are people that make these things up. And again, in today's society, I think we have created a bit of a monster, in a sense that with this cancel culture, the fact that something like this allegedly happened in 1980 and it's now 2021, and the book is behind it, and she's on um Tamron Hall or whatever her name is TV show, talking about this thing that happened so long ago. We have to really be cautioned as a society to seeing that this could be something else. And I say that, as a father of daughters, I kind of caution them in every way to ensure that they protect themselves and not put themselves in any vulnerable positions. But you guys that have sons, what I mean? Like, we're in a day and age where somebody can literally say they did anything. And to your point, because there are black males, they're automatically beyond the eight ball. And it's very dangerous, man. It's super dangerous. That's just super dangerous. The dude is not even here to go on record to say, get the fuck out of here. He's not on record to say, I got it on tape. He's not on record to say, I got telegrams or messages that you sent me asking to be choked. He's not even here to defend himself. He's not even here. So what justice are you gonna get from that now?
Right.
Maybe you're releasing your trauma from this. Okay, I understand. But there's a book behind it now. There's a tour going on. There's money behind it now. It's wow.
I mean, she was pretty powerful too. She was playing Elvira.
I mean, we're talking about power. I mean, listen, man. People have always known that if someone did something to you, famous or not, it's almost like we're saying no one famous and rich ever got accused of anything, and justice was never brought on. I mean? Tyson was accused of all types of things, and he was one of the most powerful men in the world. Period. I mean, Robin Givens came out on TV right next to him and outed him, whether you believe her or not, whatever the case may be. He was one of the most powerful people in the world. So We can't use power and money as every excuse, because if that's the case, then you're going to tell me that no powerful man ever was ever accused of anything.
Or held accountable as such.
Can't say that. So that's not all. That's not the end all be all here. You know, again, maybe there's some emotional trauma and things that she's getting over by doing this. But again, it happened in 1980. This is 2021, and there's a book involved. There's this, doing promos. You're getting money from this. You're benefiting from this. So I just, again, I think we have to be cautionary to just say, what is this all about? What why? I mean, I don't know. It's got to be cautionary, and like we always say, these types of things, when false and not true, make it harder for the people that actually have to suffer through these things. Not saying what she might have went through isn't true. Again, in today's day and age, I think as a society, we have to be cautionary when we see things like this, or proceed with caution rather.
Yep. Yep. Let me ask you something fun. So we've been pretty
Serious?
pretty serious this pod so far. Before we get into any sports or anything like that, actually, you know what? Let's get into some visuals. I'll save the question for a little bit later because it's an interesting question. I don't want you to blush on air. what you been watching?
I haven't really watched too much new. Wu-Tang Saga is back. And
I
boy,
gotta
is
watch
it
that.
good.
I gotta watch it, man. I've been slacking.
Boy, is it good. It's just, you know, it's just amazing, man, what the RZA was able to accomplish. This has got to be one of the most unique hip hop, maybe musical stories ever, from any group, anytime. I mean, what this dude was able to accomplish by bringing these men together with the circumstances, with the resources they didn't have, and that they did have. It's incredible, man. It's incredible. I think it's an inspirational story for all Black Americans, for all people of color, all around the world. I think it's an inspirational saga.
That's on Hulu, yes.
It's on Hulu every Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to every episode. I wish it was on Netflix or something that I could just binge through it, but man, it's not even. It's just scratching the surface. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I've been watching that. I've been watching Titans by DC.
Mm.
Yeah, I really haven't been watching too much uh else. I saw movie Kate on Netflix. Um it good, pretty decent storyline, good action. I will say it was some of the better action I've seen in a long time. As far as just the choreography, it was a pretty damn good movie. In
Kate.
that, right? Yeah, Kate's on Netflix.
Okay.
Good movie. Good fast paced movie. The end kind of drags it a little bit, but I gotta go back and rewatch it. But yeah, that's been it so far. What about you?
Um, it looks like I think Hulu's trying to take over Wednesday nights. They put we talked about it before, but The Wonder Years is out and they're putting new episodes of that out on Wednesdays. I started that. Don Cheadle is the voiceover, which I didn't know. I didn't research it as I should have, probably a little better back when we talked about it those two times.
Oh, he's
Um,
narrating it. Yeah.
narrating rather, yes. It's interesting. It's interesting. It started kind of a little slow for me, still nostalgic, right?
Mhm.
Because because of when it's based, it's still based in the old school, and it looks old, feels old. So I started that. I finished Startup, which is 3 seasons. I hope it's not done. I hope that they're out there, prepping for another season, working on something, because I didn't feel like it was ready to end. I don't know if it got renewed or what have you, but too
Mhm.
many of those shows that you watch and you get 2 3 seasons in, and then they end not knowing if they're going to get renewed, and the ending was not like an ending, so you really don't know what someone's thinking and stuff like that. So Startup was good though. Finished that. Ozark came out. The trailer for season 4 on Ozark came out. I'm excited for that. It's been a long time since we got the last season, so I think it's going to be hard to just pick up where you left off as far as the overwhelming popularity that show had.
Mm-hmm.
I think Netflix is going to have to do a lot to lead up to it whenever it is ready to come out. They're going to have to, find some way to get it into their top 10, just put it there basically. So people will watch it, that haven't watched it, and get that audience base, because the current audience base, myself, you, multiple others, I'm sure, are gonna watch it anyway. It's been so long. It's gonna be hard to just pick up where you left off. I can't remember. I don't remember
I've never
the
been
bulk
able
of
to
it.
get past season 1
Really,
because
I liked it.
it was kind of that feel for me that we have with Breaking Bad.
Mm,
Like
mm.
when it got to doing certain shit, I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I was just like, "No, no way. This is." I was like, "No," you know what I mean. So I got to go back and rewatch it. I got to rewatch it. I got to get through it, and I think to your point, this will be good for me to actually get into it leading up to season 4.
Yeah, I think maybe now that you say it, there were some areas that are like that, and the I think it's because I like Bateman. I like him as an actor. That kind of maybe clouded my judgment versus like Breaking Bad, where I'm like, oh, these, come on, the cartel, come on, you're a teacher, you know. Um, I finished The Circle. VP says he watched The Circle. Well, I'm sorry, I finished up to where we are on The Circle, because they're doing releases also on Wednesdays. So I think the next release is this Wednesday, and that's going to be the finale where, we get to see who won and they get to meet each other, everyone that's left. I think there's 5 left or something like that. VP also said he finally watched Clickbait and got through that. No, you watched Clickbait before. I watched Clickbait before. And it just, Clickbait was very, very good to me. And I think VP also said he liked it. Very suspenseful. These crime dramas or whatever they're called,
Whodunits.
whodunits, I'm in them. I love them, but they're getting so creative. They are finding ways throughout these shits to make you think 27 days or 27 people have done whatever was supposed to be done, and at the same time you're thinking, no, this is all fake. Oh, it's an alter reality. Oh, this guy's coming back to life. Oh, he just ran off with a mistress. Like, do you think they're they're doing too much in that sense?
I think eventually they're gonna get there to where everything with people as a whole, we're fickle, and so we get on waves and trends, and I think eventually they're gonna go too far to where people are not gonna like it. But on another note, right? Look what happened to my man in Clickbait. Look what happened to him. Everybody thought this dude was this
Oh,
monster. Everybody thought this dude was this monster and did all of this. Had to the point where his wife, who cheated on him,
talk about it.
getting rid of his pictures around the house, got the youngest one getting rid of pictures around the house, totally abandoning their dad, and this dude literally did nothing. He was the victim throughout it all. He was the one true victim throughout it all. And all that we got for whatever how many episodes it was how shitty this guy was.
It's hard being a man in today's society.
Right.
It is difficult. You got that, and then you also have so what I was thinking about the ending, I'm thinking about Mayor of Eastwood. We had talked about that too, and that was another one that kind of threw people in 20 different directions. And these things are just, I just think, I like the creativity, but I think they're starting to get to the too much funky shit. Like, Don't make me question myself 30 times in
Right.
in the last 10 minutes of the fucking show. You know what I'm saying? All the way to the last minute of the show, you're like, I knew it. Oh, it wasn't. I was wrong. Like, just stop playing with my heart. But yeah, to your point, man, he was a model citizen, model dad, great guy. Got cheated on by his wife, his black wife. And someone used his identity to make him a monster.
All because she was a sick, perverted creep.
And not only that, everybody believed it. He was a monster. How could he do this to her?
Terrible, man. But the biggest flaw in that joint was how he ran to her house. You were just kidnapped, near death, and you run to the old lady's house, that
The secretary.
the secretary's house, that you figured out did this somehow. Right? Like, he figured it out. Okay, we got there, but still, in that moment, you just escaped death. I don't know that I would have pieced that. I don't know that I'd have pieced that together. One, and then two, randomly. Two, how do you even know where she lives? Three, randomly just run to her house. Like, the first thing I'm doing is getting to the police, to my family, someone on the street. Hey, I was kidding. Look at me. This motherfucker runs to her crib. She opens the door and he just barges in like, you know what I mean? Like, you did this to me. Like, it's just okay. That was the part that they kind of ruined it. Kind of blew it.
The whites.
Kind of blew it.
Yep. Anything else coming out? Anything that I still haven't gotten a chance to. Oh yes. Oh, I still haven't gotten a chance to watch Shang-Chi. Someone told me yesterday it was phenomenal, so I'm gonna watch it. Probably watch it today. If I don't fall asleep. After football. But yes, The Sopranos.
What is it?
Many Saints of Newark.
Many Saints of Newark, yes.
Many Saints of Newark is, for those who don't know, it was pushed back. It'll be on October 1st. October 1st was the pushback date. But they are, this is Christopher Moltisanti, who was Tony Soprano's son's father's story. Tony Soprano's son's father, or I'm sorry, Tony Soprano's cousin's father, who Tony multiple times throughout the show said that that's who he looked up to. That's who he was inspired heavily by. That comes out October 1st. I see Sopranos has been making its way back onto HBO a lot. I am excited for that. I can't wait for that to come out. That's going to be... I might have to go to movies for that, man.
It's going to be on HBO Max, and Matrix 4, as VP noted.
VP said the Matrix 4 as well. We saw that trailer. Did you watch the trailer?
No, I didn't watch it all the way. Okay. I'm not that excited about it.
I need to go back and watch the Matrixes, because the Matrixes were out, what was that?
99-ish.
Late 90s? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Late 90s. So the first one came out in 99, which is the year I graduated high school.
We actually, I think you and I watched it the first time when you had it on bootleg.
Allegedly.
Hey, set the limitations, bro.
I'm an upstanding member of society, always have been. Yeah, I think you're right. But 99 to 05 was approximately the time frame that it was out. Graduated high school, started all the fuckery out and stuff like that, being an adult. So I did watch the movies, but I don't think I really don't remember clearly all of them. I remember a lot of the scenes. I never watched, and this is bad, but I've never watched the last one all the way through, beginning to end. So I need to go ahead and do that.
I watched them all. for me, it was just I don't know. I
Last one was Reloaded, right? Am I right?
yeah, I believe so. I believe so. I could be wrong. For me, and the fact that they have a fourth one is kind of always been my fear about it. My fear has always been that it's gonna be a Fast and Furious type thing. Like the way that they built this thing, it's never gonna end. And like the last one was supposed to be the end, and clearly it's not. So I don't know how I feel about it. I think fans have always wanted it, another one. But I think Keanu is smart. He's getting on the wave while he can, because right now everyone is liking nostalgic things. I mean, people are they're just recycling, rinse, and repeating so much, and you could get a bag from it. So if you're Keanu Reeves, not Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah,
Keanu Reeves. I don't know why I started thinking of Kurt Russell, but Keanu Reeves. If you're Keanu Reeves, you're gonna get a bag from that. I mean, they did Bill and Ted, over. I mean, he's like, fuck it, y'all want to pay me? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna rinse and repeat. So
right. '03 was when the last one came out, and that one was Resurrection. I'm sorry, the new one is Resurrections. That one was Revolutions.
Reloaded was the second one, I guess.
Yeah, Reloaded was second. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'll probably go back and watch the first three before going and watching this last one. But I think this one's gonna be good because we've come a long way from the green screen stuff back in the day, the digital photography, just digital production and everything is going to be so high on this thing. I think it's going to be great. And I think you incorporate, like back then they put us onto a different way of thinking in general. Like, are we in the Matrix, right? But now you have stuff that's really real that makes you think stuff like that. Like, these Oculus headsets and stuff like that, that the altered reality, you get into these pilot games and whatever, and it makes you think, like, I put this thing on and I'm in a different world. Like, is this a real thing? We've seen new TV shows about it, like that one on HBO. VP loves that show. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I think they're going to do a very good job. I hope they do a very good job. Keanu is, Keanu's Keanu, right? This guy does great in just about everything he touches. So, I'm gonna watch it. I'm assuming, and I could be wrong. Let me get back to it. December 22nd of this year. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's been in production, but yeah, I don't know. You got to watch it if like we always say, if you're outside at that time, you got to watch it. So I'm gonna watch it too, but I don't have high expectations for it.
Larry said he loved he hated the third one. He loves the Matrix, and then the Nevers is the show on HBO that I was alluding to. Man, I think we better off keeping VP on chat. we get research. We get his takes, all types of good stuff there. All right, man. So let's get into it. It's Sunday. Football season can't go a day without speaking about football. At least a Sunday speaking about football. So, want to get right into it, man. Talk about some quick hot stuff. Up to this point in the season, me and Vari kind of talked about it last week, but now we have an additional week. What's your one biggest takeaway from the first 3 weeks of the season? First 2 weeks, I'm sorry. I'll go first.
Any given Sunday, man. Any given Sunday. Pretty much
any given Sunday. My takeaway, and then I'll come back to you as well. Arizona could be the real deal. I know they had a rough week last week, and they kind of gave it up at the end. But Kyler Murray, man, he's different. He's different.
Yeah.
Mobile quarterbacks are the thing of the future. We've seen that in the league. But this guy is mobile. He can extend the play. And I think because he can stop on a dime, and he makes great plays and great throws on top of it. A lot of these mobile guys are not making the same throws, or can't make the throws, or can't make the throws on the run. Kyler Murray is different. I think he's a better mobile quarterback. I think he's a quarterback that can run versus a running quarterback, which we always talk about. He's a quarterback first, meaning if he hurt his legs and he was stuck in the pocket, he could still make plays.
Mm-hmm.
And Arizona has been one of the bright spots for me, just watching their offense. And every year, they look at Hopkins, and although we know he's probably one of the greatest receivers and the greatest in the league, probably the last 5 to 7 years, we still all are like, it's not Kansas City. So that's my number one takeaway. Number two takeaway, real quick, is just Green Bay. I hate Aaron Rodgers, and I hate him even more.
Why do you hate Aaron Rodgers so much?
He's cocky, man. He's cocky. He's arrogant. He's a piece of shit to me.
He's Tom Brady. He's literally Tom Brady. And you love Tom Brady.
Yeah, but Tom Brady is cocky and arrogant on his game, and he wins, right? But Aaron Rodgers is cocky and arrogant even when he loses. Like, this guy will lose, and he'll never be like, yeah, we got to do better. You know what I'm saying? So guys, we're not running the right route out there.
Like, dude, don't like Aaron Rodgers because he's like a black dude.
Nah, just like, I mean, listen, man, take accountability, man. Take accountability when you're the problem. It's okay to say that you're the problem, man. And after the first game, no, those guys are messing it up, and the team this, the team that.
To be fair, I mean, Green Bay, we don't know what the hell they've been doing GM wise over there. Like they took Jordan Love first round when they needed a corner or a wide receiver. Like,
Vari said Serena does the same, and we love her. Yeah, but Serena, she just bitches about the refs.
Look at Vari attacking black women for no reason.
Right. I mean, our beautiful queens. He claims to be a feminist. All right, let's get into picks, man. Indy going into Tennessee. Tennessee's 1-1. Indy's 0-2. I think Carson Wentz is playing. Was the last. He was back at practice Friday. Should be playing.
Tennessee.
Oh, you know what? EJ.
I didn't pick last week though.
Yeah, no. Luckily, because last week I had a really good week. Last week I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for 17. VP went 9 for 17. I went 14 for 17. He went 9 for 17. And Eric went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for 17. All right. Indy versus Tennessee. VP says in the chat he has Tennessee. You said you have
Tennessee.
I'm going Tennessee as well. This is probably the shit bowl. Atlanta Falcons, and they're going into New York against the Giants. They're saying Saquon is back to full health. He should get a full workload. This should be the first game he gets a full workload, 20 plus rushes. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna support my Giants friends and fans. Giants.
All right. VP is low on the draw. I'm man, this is a tough one, man. I hate the Giants.
You could just add that in the group chat.
Yeah, I know. I hate the Giants, but I'm gonna go with the Giants as well. I think I think they pull it out. Not much to say there. This is a divisional game, big divisional game. Chargers going into Kansas City. Justin Herbert, year 2. Looked a little off last week against Cowboys. Or Cowboys defense just is just looking better than what people expected potentially. But yeah, Chargers going into Kansas City. Everybody's healthy.
Kansas City, because they just took their loss to the Ravens, so somebody's got to pay.
Indeed, that was a tough loss for them, man. I'm gonna go KC as well. VP took KC. Pittsburgh. Let's see. Cincinnati going into Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson for Pittsburgh is out.
I bet Eric $5 Pittsburgh is going to win.
So you took Pittsburgh?
$5 is on the line. It's on the record.
I mean, Cincinnati is also without T. Higgins. So, yeah. So that's a thing. That's a tough one. And Ben is banged up. Pittsburgh's supposed to win this game, man. I'm going to go Cincinnati.
When is Ben Roethlisberger not banged up?
That's true. Yeah. Never mind. When he's taking women in the bathroom. Chicago. I'm taking Cincinnati because you guys took Pittsburgh. Chicago going into Cleveland. We're going to see Justin Fields with a full week of practice with the number ones up against Cleveland. Odell Beckham is back this week. Jarvis Landry is out, however.
Cleveland. Jarvis Landry is always out. Nah, I can't say that. Even when he's playing, though, he's always out.
Yeah. Chicago's defense is good, man. But I mean, Cleveland is... I'm going to go Cleveland, man. Young quarterback for me. VP went Cleveland as well. We got Baltimore. Yeah, I'm just going to put us all down for Baltimore. They're going into Detroit. New Orleans going into New England. 1-1. New Orleans looked like a powerhouse week 1. Week 2 went out and got beat up on by Carolina. And going into New England.
Give me the Saints.
Saints. I'm on the Saints too. But Vegas is on the Patriots for some reason. So we'll watch that. I think the Patriots are a 3-point favorite. Arizona's going into Jacksonville.
Arizona.
Yeah. Washington's going into Buffalo. 1-1. Taylor Heineke, man, that's your boy.
I'm going with the Washington football team. 98. Well, 50% is because I hate Buffalo. The other 50% is I actually think they can win.
Yeah, I think they can win, but I hate them. They're in my division. I'm going Buffalo. VP also went Washington. Man, you guys got a lot of faith there. The Jets going into Denver.
All right, I gotta go.
Denver is without Jerry Jeudy still.
Oh man,
Man, your boy. What do you do? 4 interceptions. What's his name? Matt Jones. Matt.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Listen, man, I have no faith in LaFleur as an OC already. I don't. Our second best, if not one of our best receivers, is 5th on the depth chart.
Who's that?
Denzel Mims. And the only excuse that they're coming out with is, he doesn't know all the routes and he doesn't want to play special teams. 1, bullshit. 2, even more bullshit. I don't know what he did to piss LaFleur off, but he's 6'2", runs a 4.3. When he played last year, was burning guys. The first game he comes in, he has Zach Wilson's longest reception for 40 yards, rips the defense, and then that's it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So, you know what? I'm going to say we lose today.
Whoa. Denver over the Jets, huh? I'm sure VP is taking Denver. Man. It's in Denver. I gotta go Denver, man. I wanted to take the Jets. If it was in MetLife, I would have taken Miami going into Las Vegas.
Easily. 2 is out. Tua's
Jacoby
out.
Brissett is playing. Miami's owner wants to go get. VP sent us an article the other day. Said his owner wants to go get Deshaun, but the execs don't want to pay the money.
Yeah, well, look for Crosby to have like 4 sacks today.
Also, VP took the Jets over Denver.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's trying to jinx us. I think he's sacrificing a pick just to jinx us.
All right.
Wow.
Um.
Just use the emoji for their name.
Right.
Wow. Disrespect.
So you got the So
Raiders.
the Raiders.
And
Yeah,
we're gonna
I'm
have
on.
a hell of a defensive game today. Matter of fact, see if I
I,
can't find their defense somewhere.
I think both teams do, but Carr has been looking really good. Carr's been looking really good. So
Miami's out with Tua. Not that he was good anyway, but they're gonna get hammered. Like Crosby's gonna murder those guys.
VP has nothing. All right, Seattle going into Minnesota. Seattle's 1-1. Minnesota is 0-2.
And Seattle's going into Minnesota.
Seattle's going into Minnesota. Minnesota.
Seattle, Russell Westbrook. I on the low, I kind of hate on the Seahawks.
Or Russell Wilson.
Nah, I just don't like the Seahawks. Just because of Pete Carroll and Marshawn Lynch. But anyway, give me Minnesota.
Minnesota. Man, I think you're right. I'm gonna go Minnesota as well. I got Minnesota winning their first game against Seattle at home. Tampa Bay. Tom Brady and the Bradettes going into Los Angeles to play the Rams. And they are going to be without Antonio Brown because he tested positive for COVID.
Give me the Rams.
I got I'm going with the Bucks.
Tom Brady's got to lose sometime.
He does. I just don't think this is the one. The Rams are also without their starting running back, so we'll see if Sony Michel. But it's gonna be. I mean, listen, Cooper Kupp. I haven't seen Robert Woods do anything yet this season. Mm-mm. If he can get going, I think the Rams can win this week. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Green Bay, the night game. Night game today is going to be Green Bay going into San Francisco. Green Bay is 1-1, coming off of the win last week in primetime, where they struggled a little bit with Detroit. And San Fran is 2-0 with quarterback controversies all over the place, running back controversies all over the place. Wide receiver controversies all over the place. Just a loaded team, lots of talent.
I think you got to go with San Fran. Is it in Green Bay?
It's in San Fran.
Yeah, I'm going to go with San Fran for the simple fact that they struggled with Detroit last week. I don't know.
It's a tough one.
It's tough because both of them didn't look on par. Give me Green Bay. Give me Green Bay.
Larry's going Green Bay. It's prime time, so I'm going to go Green Bay, but I feel like if it wasn't prime time, San Fran would win. Because prime time is where this piece of shit Aaron Rodgers always wants to try and be flashy. Monday night game, Philly going into Dallas. I haven't seen an update on Amari Cooper, but I think he's healthy. Or I think he's going to play. I mean, Philly's Philly. They still have Jalen Hurts starting.
Yeah.
And no wide receivers. But Divisional game. Could go either way. I'm going Dallas, man. I got Dak. Dak just looks healthy. Even, coming off of that injury, he looks great. And eventually Zeke is gonna run for 120 yards, and Pollard is gonna kind of take a back seat, and I think that starts this week.
Give me Dallas, I guess. Being at their home, Dallas is home.
Dallas is the home team. And then Thursday night's game. Who plays Thursday night? Let's see. This day in technology, and it still takes this long for shit to load. Thursday night, we have got VP took Dallas. And then Thursday night, we have great barn burner. Jaguars going into Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. I'm going Cincinnati as well. Right now. If Joe Burrow gets hurt for some reason, that could change some things. But for now, Cincinnati for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, picks are in the books. Bold prediction for today. Any one team or player? You got one?
Yeah, I said it. Crosby's gonna have 4 sacks.
VP, do you have any that you can start typing now while I go through my boldy for the week?
Pause.
All right, my bold prediction for the week is gonna be Saquon Barkley goes for 150 on the ground today against Atlanta and 2 tutties.
150. Wow.
I know it's a lot. It's a lot. He hasn't been over. I don't think he's been over 50 something since the season started.
150 yards though. 150 yards. That's
150 is a lot. Atlanta's bad though.
150 is a lot. You talk about almost 200 yards at a game. I can't let you do that, man. Go 100. Go 100 at most.
I'm gonna say 125. 125. Uh-oh. Listen, the Giants want to do something. They got to get him involved.
The VP.
Oh my god.
VP towards the Jets. I don't like it.
VP's bold prediction is Zach Wilson shows why he was drafted. Well, we knew he was drafted to be the starter, so he showed us that. Let's see, man. Let's see. It is Denver and Bridgewater. So, all right, man. Picks are in the book. Things are looking good. Episode 117. We are coming to an end. Anything that we missed that is notable that we should discuss at this point that you can think of off the top of your head?
Nah, I think you got everything. About to go in part 2 with Senor E and make it a movie, man.
What a scumbag. He's there and he could have potted.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was telling him to fire up his laptop or something. But, he's way downtown, so.
Making his way downtown. Never mind. All right. Well, good luck with your fantasy matchup today. And we will reconvene next week.
Vari suffered his first loss to me.
Oh, that should be interesting.
You're all welcome.
Oh, you guys played last week?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm 0-2. So there's that. I don't know what's up with my team, but eventually they'll wake up. Hopefully it'll be this week. I got E this week, so that's like a bye week.
Should be a win.
Should be a win. All right. Well, that puts us in the book 117. Let me do the VP since he's not here. Thanks everybody for listening. As always, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, pretty much all the social medias. Searching Castworthy, CASTWORTHY. On Instagram, it's Castworthy_podcast. Streaming, you can find us anywhere. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, YouTube with the video. YouTube will give you the video so you can see our goofy ass faces as we made these crazy ass picks and thoughts and combos that we have. Yeah, we're here Sunday mornings, generally somewhere between 9 and 11, somewhere like that as a start time. But if you set your alerts, you'll never miss us. Don't even matter what time we start. Set the alerts, subscribe, you'll get a pop-up that we're live. And, you can interact with us in the chat. You can send us your topics, your thoughts, your ideas. We'll discuss and, share your feedback. So, thank you again for tuning into us. It's a great day to be alive. Beautiful Sunday. Going to go watch some football. Everybody have a great week. We are out. Peace to the gods and the earth.